Go.
So we obviously had a few issues with technical problems with not being able to get you on the live. I was busy introducing you and why I've got you on my Facebook Live. So we've obviously improvised now and just doing a recording on Zoom, and that I'm obviously uploading. So the reason why I wanted you on the live is obviously you're a 7 income earner in dollars, and I just wanted you to sort of first of all introduce yourself and just basically share, sort of how you've got to where you are at the moment, and just a bit of your background and where you started from in that.
Awesome. So yeah, everybody has that turning point and defining line in their lives, and I don't think many people actually choose network marketing as an industry. To be honest with you, it's not the first port of call and choice. But it got to a stage where, and my husband was shot in 2007, and we really, literally, you take your household without any income for 9 months. All of you would be in a debt like you cannot believe. And so we eventually eventually we got ourselves going and that kind of thing, but we were always this debt behind us. And eventually it was October 2010, I just said, listen here, enough's enough. Something's got to change. And I made that statement, I'll do anything so long as it's legal, moral, and ethical. And lo and behold, literally two days after that, somebody phones me and says, listen here, I've got a business opportunity I'd love to have a look at. They wouldn't share with me because of following the process in the system, but the first time I could get to that person was my son in KwaZulu-Natal. And so I was on the 24th of December 2010, sitting in a home meeting and looking at my first network marketing company. And it was like, I can't believe no, this is not what I signed up for. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. But then again, I said, so long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, and the system was legal, it was moral, it was ethical. So I said, you know what? Let me go for it. And I have not looked back there. So I've been in network marketing since the 24th of December 2010, and love the profession.
Great to remember.
I remember that so distinctly, because who would go to a home meeting on the 24th of December unless you're desperate to change? Yeah, most people would be partying and enjoying, the pre-Christmas celebrations and that. And yes, we went and did that afterwards, but it just was, I had to do something different. And I promise you, I advocate that the network marketing profession is the best profession I've ever been in. I sit before you now 9 years later, because we're almost the 24th of December again. Okay, 9 years later, everything's fully paid for. I designed my own life. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. I can travel when I want to travel. My time is my own. And yes, and creating within the network marketing profession multiple streams of income, and that multiple streams of income has created me to have a basket where, I'm an asset-based 7-figure dollar income earner and per annum, and it really pays the bills, which is awesome. Yeah.
So I've already noticed in the short time, you just touched on one point I noticed already is you quite often find the people that have the biggest, they're under pressure normally do better because they're under pressure. So that when there's no option, there's no other option, then you tend to make it work.
Yeah.
Whereas if there's other options, you sort of just take it, môre is nog 'n dag.
Yeah.
So
what I've learned is that, the average person, and I mean this extremely respectfully, but, the enemy of a great life is a good life. Okay?
Yeah.
So people won't transition into something that can be better than what they've got because they're happy with where they are. And one of the biggest things that I realized is that, and I don't think the average South African or person, let's talk South African specific, I don't think that we realize that our buy power dies on a regular basis. So every 5 to 7 years, our buying power is literally halving. So if we think about this now, let's say, for example, I wanted 50,000 Rand a month to live off, okay, retire off. That means I would need, if I was putting my money into the normal conventional system and totally relying on my asset paying me from a bank on a, let's say, an average of 6%, okay, I would need 10 million Rand in the bank sitting there on a round about a 6% interest for me to earn off 50,000 Rand, which is really pretty cool. But if I stay with that status quo, 5 years to 7 years from now, my buying power, I still have my 10 million Rand. I'm still getting my, say, 50,000 Rand, but my buy power is actually 25,000. So in essence, if I still want to stay on the 50,000 buy power, I now need to have 20 million in the bank. And when I realized that, for me, it was like, oh my word, there's no way I'm saving 10 million, 20 million Rand. There's just no ways. So what must I do to help create? And I started a journey after I got my PhD, and which was 2015. And I said, you know what? What happens if I could help people become asset-based millionaires? And when I started that journey, at that time, they needed 1 million Rand of assets to get 10,000 Rand a month. So my figure's been working on a 10,000 Rand a month, and I've been working with 10,000 Rand a month since 2015. But I've seen that every year, we've literally had to go from 1 million to 1,100,000 to 1,200,000 to 1,300,000. Now you need 2.7 million to get a good solid 10K out. So I started researching projects and business opportunities, and that's when I came across Warren Buffett's statement and a couple of other the big guys' statement is that, you know what, in order to keep your million, you need to have multiple streams of income. And when I dawned on that, I thought that makes sense to me, because what happens if we can get 2,000 Rand from this one, 3,000 Rand from this one, 5,000 from that one, or another 4,000 and 1,000 from that one. Now my eggs are in different baskets. So if one basket goes down, I still can live on a monthly basis. And for me, when I saw that concept, started putting in, and my goal was to have 100 asset-based millionaires by my birthday, which will be October 2020. And with the previous network marketing, well, with all the different projects that I'm working on, I've got myself 75 asset-based millionaires now, according to my project, 10,000 Rand a month. You're fortunate to be one of those guys, so that's pretty awesome. And a couple of other people. And the exciting thing is, it's possible. And
do you want to just maybe explain a little bit what you just mentioned now with the 75 asset-based, what you said there now?
Yeah, so my goal is I want to create and I want to help 100 households by October 2020 to be millionaires, according to in other words, 10,000 Rand a month. When I first started the project, it was 100 asset-based millionaires in Africa. And that was in 2015 when I started that. And at that time, and 1 million Rand would have given you 10,000 Rand a month. So that was pretty cool. But as the buy power is devaluated, I had to go and find assets to the value of 2.7 million, 2.5, 2.7 million for someone to earn 10,000 Rand a month. So my goal is to help people earn 10,000 Rand a month, because I believe that that's an awesome amount to bring into your household. And if you're clever, you won't put all your eggs in one basket. If you want to be wise, it is about multiple streams of income. And what are those multiple streams of income? And how can we leverage everyday assets to actually do that? Because not everybody qualifies for a property portfolio. Not everybody has the savvy to trade. Not everybody can go buy stocks and shares. And so how does one get onto a project where you're cared for, you're mentored, and you're taken through a process? And that's the kind of projects I work with.
Yeah. So what I've seen is obviously there's stepping stones, and that there's the first step. So first of all, if you don't have disposable income, how on earth do you invest anything, because there's nothing to invest. So obviously the first step is you've got an 8 to 5 job. Now, how do we, you're not getting salary increases. Well, very few companies, if you're lucky enough, you might get a 5 or 10% salary increase. But like you mentioned already, when inflation's sitting on 20, 30%, you're actually still going backwards. You're just not going as backwards as badly. Yeah. But so obviously the first step on what I like about the network marketing and is now for a very low point of entry, instead of you're not needing to go and resign from your job, go and get an investor for 5 million rand to go now start a business. Network marketing, obviously, from the bit that you've already taught me, and that enable you to then basically create that extra income every month. And I've already just seen a few people that we've helped, and I'm sure you can share on that. And that's going to be one of my questions. What are your some of your success stories just on people? I'm not talking big, somebody earning 8,000 rand a month. I know I've already helped 2 people in my team who are earning probably less than that, and now they literally have doubled their salary.
Wow. Wow.
So you must have quite a few stories like that of or just maybe explaining how that whole process works, and that's why network marketing is so powerful and how it actually works.
John, you honestly, it sounds funny, but it gives me goosebumps when I hear stories like that, because that is one of the things that I fell in love with the network marketing profession, was because it is actually designed for full-time people. It's not so that people can do it part-time, if that makes, rephrase that. For people who are working full-time and they're doing the network marketing side part-time. So that's actually how it was designed. It was designed to create additional income into your home, not for you to go out and be this network marketing professional and then it only works for you. So if we actually fit it into people's lives and lifestyles, it's very possible. So one of my network marketing companies is I had a doctor who was a specialist in his area, and he really, honestly, all he wanted to do was buy back some hours. But if he had to go and stop working, his lifestyle would change. So what he did is he literally could give me 15 minutes a day. And in that 15 minutes, we had to be so strategic on what we did in that 15 minutes. And he literally would leave the hospital, go and stand on the helipad while he ate his sandwich for 15 minutes, because he knew people were going to call him, because he was such a specialist in a pediatrician in his area, a field of expertise. And we eventually built where he could literally, the income that came in on a monthly basis was sufficient for him to take 1 day a week off with his wife, so that he could actually just buy back some time. So his income stayed the same, because he had to drop his hours in his consulting practice, but he made it up in the network marketing profession. So that balanced his life out, so he could buy back time. Because the only way he could previously, he wasn't buying back his time, he was selling his time. And so that's one of the stories. And then my best story actually is a gentleman who has been with me in network marketing for a long time. And probably since I did 2010, he probably joined me 2012. So a good 7 years we've been working together. And he just wasn't successful in the previous companies. And I still say that is why there's so many different network marketing companies out there, because different ones speak to different people, and not everyone resonates with the products. So as much as he tried with the previous, with 2 of the others that I'm in, it never resonated with him. The third one he came into, this guy, he really could, entry level, as you say, nice low entry level. He came in at the bottom of the ranks. And today, really, I would say from March until now, 9 months later, this guy's earning like 7,000 euros a month. From not being able to earn anything, he lost his job, he lost everything. He lost his car, he lost his house, they had to move into a smaller place, but he never gave up on the profession, because he believed in it. Product resonated with him, company resonated with him, he knew what he had to go and do, he just went out and did it, and literally like now, he's just trying to phone me now. That's when you heard the phone ring. He's flying to Las Vegas to go to Eric Worre's GoPro. So it's phenomenal to see how this business can literally change people's lives around, and it's extremely powerful.
Yeah. So it was another good point that you mentioned there now is obviously the persistence, and that's also because it's not just a magic wand that necessarily always just works immediately. I've seen it with the team as well. You know, there's one or two people that have in 3 weeks they've got to the 10,000 Rand per month part-time income, and then obviously there are a few people that are still struggling, which are taking a little bit longer. But you know, obviously, if you persist, you will obviously eventually succeed, no matter what.
No matter what. No matter what.
So, I just want to do. I know your time is also precious, and that's and we've been struggling for an hour trying to get this Facebook Live sorted.
All good.
But we will. I feel like this conversation might need another session or whatever, so we will maybe try and just figure it out this week and then do the live again when you've got some time. But another big thing I want to touch on is you know, I've noticed as soon as a business model doesn't follow the exact rules of what we consider normal business, I've got a shop, I've taken out a massive bank loan to fund it, I've got staff members and all of these risks and that. When a business gets presented to you that doesn't follow that exact strategy, then we immediately have, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. I actually addressed it yesterday in another live, just saying to guys, you need to first understand what a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme is, because only once you understand what it is can you then use it as a measuring stick to measure a business that's presented to you. But I realize that people just use those words very loosely, and they actually don't even know what it is. They can't define it. So you must have had lots of experience with that. How do you normally define the difference between a pyramid scheme and a network marketing model?
Awesome. So, you know, what you're saying is so true. And human nature, whatever we do not understand, we will reject. That is bottom line of who we are as human nature people. And so what I have found is that when a person understands exactly what you're saying, the difference between the two, and you know, it is sad that initially when the network marketing profession first came into South Africa with our parents and that kind of thing, there were so many Ponzi's. And a Ponzi basically, bottom line is, you put money in, and the money that you put in goes to pay the person before you, and you're going to wait your turn to get paid. So there's zero product coming through that system at all. And it is all about the money that comes in here pays the next guy. And if you have 2 of them coming in, then you're going to double up your income. And then if they have 3, then, you know, and so it does get bigger and bigger. And yes, only the guy at the top makes the money, okay? Because all of a sudden they shut it down. You know, I have a brother-in-law who's an advocate, and he got scammed in a Ponzi scheme. I think it was the Aeroplane One a couple of years ago, or a long time ago, and it was basically that. But the thing is, there was no aeroplane, you know. And people need to be cautious. And I say this to everybody I speak to. I'm glad you're bringing up the fact that is it a Ponzi scheme, because it means that you're looking for something. And if you're looking for a Ponzi scheme, then you come to the wrong place, because I'm not involved in Ponzi schemes. I refuse to do anything. Like I said right at the beginning, I was looking for something that was legal, moral, and ethical. And the genuine network marketing companies actually provide exactly that. And you know, it's the same thing. So for example, let's have a look at real estate. Okay, so I go and I sell you a house in real estate. Nobody has a problem because they've physically bought a house that I get commission. I go buy a vehicle. Nobody has a problem. They physically buy a car. I get commission. What they forget to see in both of those transactions is that I don't get the full commission. Okay. My company is going to get a portion of my commission as well. So now all of a sudden, in that conventional environment, okay, we're accepted. But when I put it into a different business model, where if I sell something and you get a percentage, because I referred you and we bring it in, and now we have a structure that benefits more people, okay? Whereas everybody has a problem with this. So it's okay for our sales force in a conventional motor vehicle dealership to compete against each other, to cheat against each other, to steal each other's clients. We accept that.
Yes.
But we have a problem when we create a community where everybody's structured so that if I do good by you, we both benefit, and now we have a community of people that benefit. We have a problem with that because all of a sudden the hierarchy of structure is not linear. It is in a shape that looks like what we would call a pyramid, because it's a triangle. And, you know, again, the guy at the top in your conventional business is the guy that makes the most money, because the guys at the bottom don't. So we know that. With a true, genuine network marketing model, it opens doors for people below you to make more money than the people that you brought in, because he who does the work gets paid. So let's take our example, for example. So you're in one of my network marketing and a couple of my network marketing companies, and you're doing the work fast and furiously. And if I laxy days and I go ahead and I say, I'm very happy with status quo, but you want more than status quo, you're going to earn more money than me, even though you might be 30, 40, 50 levels below me. That's the beautiful thing about the network marketing profession, is you determine your income. It's not determined by the people. And that's the difference.
So I think, again, you know, I've just learned a whole bunch of stuff again as well. But I think that's the main thing is people don't quite understand how it works. So it's just an immediate assumption that it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a pyramid scheme. But when you ask them, okay, identify or explain what a pyramid scheme is, they can't explain it. True. So if you can't explain it, you obviously don't understand it, and that's the problem. Is that you know, when it's a model where everybody's benefiting, that's now all of a sudden an issue. But under normal business, you got the MD. MD takes home 150 grand a month, and your bottom employees take 5,000-10,000 rand a month. That's okay. Yeah, there's no issue with that. It doesn't matter how hard you work, and no matter what you do, you're just not going to get there. Exactly. But that's why I love it as well. So. Awesome. I think, I'm going to leave it there. I really appreciate your time. I know you were busy at a conference all of yesterday and that, and I know Sundays is normally your family time. Yes. So I really, really appreciate you making the effort. And I know that this is going to help a lot of people and add value in that. So, because it's already added value to me again. Fantastic. So I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for persevering. That's why I love working with you. That's why you're going to be a great leader. And I do look for the day. You're going to have to work hard, but I do look for the day that you do earn more than me.
I look forward to that day too. Right, cool. And I'm going to also add quickly, if this is being shared via Watch Party, whoever's sharing the Watch Party, make contact with them. They'll be able to help you and give you some more information if there's any questions. If this is on Dr. Michelle's page or you see it there, you can also make contact with her. And then obviously it's going to be on my page. If you see it there, then just you're more than welcome to drop me a message, and then can give you some more advice or more info on that.
Fantastic. Awesome. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Doc.
Pleasure. Cheers. Take care. Cheers.
Bye.